The Calgary Police is once again appealing to the public for any information that could help the investigation into the death of Anthony Fernandez, which took place in late 2013. Police found Anthony deceased in a vehicle at approximately 3 p.m. on Friday, December 27th, 2013. He had been reported missing by his family on December 26, 2013, and was found in the 1200 block of Colgrove Avenue Northeast. The death was determined to be a homicide, and we've been investigating several persons of interest since that time. However, they have now been cleared of involvement, and our investigation has stalled. We're here today to release new details of the case in the hope that it will help and that others may come forward who have information. Based on the autopsy results, police believe that Anthony died in the early hours of December 25th, 2013, at the location where he was found. The vehicle, a 2009 dark maroon Mazda 6 that he was found in, was also lit on fire, which destroyed much of the evidence inside. We were asking anyone who saw the vehicle in the area at the time or with any other information about this case to contact our non-emergency line at 403-266-1234, or they may also call Crime Stoppers. At this time, I'd like to invite Anthony's mother, Miss Daisy Fernandez, to speak on behalf of the family.
My name is Daisy Fernandez. I'm Anthony's mom. It's been almost 2 years since my son was murdered, and we still have no answers about who was responsible. Anthony had so many plans for the future, but that ended way too soon. His personality and big bright smile always lit up any room he was in. He was very caring and loving, and was always surrounded by people that loved and cared for him the same way. My son died in 2013. It has always been 2 years since his death and our tragic loss. As a family, we are frustrated by the fact no one has been identified yet in this case. We are frustrated at how long it has taken to solve this crime, and frustrated that the person who killed Anthony is still walking the streets. I want to ask the police to please not stop investigating. Please do not give up, even though it's been hard. Please, if anyone knows anything about Anthony's death, call police and help bring Anthony's killer to justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Fernandez. And just in our response to that, the Calgary Police takes these crimes very serious. Any person of attacks is a great concern for the Calgary Police Service. These homicide investigations are very lengthy at times, very complex, and unfortunately, it's difficult for the family. We know they're tragic. We know the family goes through a lot of turmoil and a lot of emotions, and it really turns the world upside down. But I want you to know that we will continue to investigate this file like other unsolved homicides, and we'll do what we can. Again, they're difficult, they're slow, but we will do what we can to bring justice, to bring the person or persons responsible to justice and put them behind bars, and also to bring some answers for the family, and hopefully some closure for the family as well. At the family's request, they will not be available for questions. However, I will take any questions from you.
What's the biggest challenge facing investigators right now? Obviously, there's a lack of information coming in, but why do you think that is?
Well, it's difficult. Again, every homicide is complex, but we're faced with different circumstances. Every homicide has different people involved, different. The evidence is different. Sometimes we follow leads, and we exhaust those, and it's unfortunate, but not every time we arrive to a crime scene there's a smoking gun and a bad guy still at the scene. So to answer your question, it really depends. They're complex files, and on this one, unfortunately, we exhaust a lot of the avenues originally. We're at the place right now, we're in a bit of a holding pattern, and we were hoping that with releasing some of these further details, the public will be able to assist us in moving this file forward.
The fact that it's Christmas morning, early morning, middle of winter, not a lot of people on the streets, I suppose that can help.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, it was the early morning of Christmas. It did take place in a dark back alley. Unfortunately, that adds to the tragic circumstance for the family. But, you know, depending on surveillance cameras, number of witnesses, and a number of other things, you know, we are sometimes challenged depending on the evidence that we're faced with on the onset.
How much does the fact the car was burned out challenge you?
Pardon me?
How much does the fact the car was burned out hamper your investigation?
Well, obviously there was some evidence inside that was lost due to the fire. We believe the culprit or culprits did intentionally set that fire. And I can't speak to exactly what or the details to protect the integrity of this investigation, but it is fair to say that some evidence had been lost.
Does that indicate a higher level of, like, a more organized crime group that involved in this killing?
You know, we've seen both. We've seen that from more sophisticated groups, and we've seen that from young people who do acts on the spur of the moment. So it doesn't. That piece alone doesn't give us many details as to the question you're asking.
Are you working on any active leads, or is it sort of like you're starting over from where you were in 2013?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say we're starting over because Calgary Police has exhausted of a number of avenues. Again, these files, yet they may sit for some time. They're always reviewed, and we try to develop what we can. But in saying that, we are in a holding pattern. We've exhausted the leads we originally had, and we're hoping that this information shared with you and the public today might be enough to tweak someone's memory to give us a call. And not only from the vehicle or the standpoint of even the residential area where neighbors might have noticed something that's odd, but you know, sometimes the people's, in this case, the culprits' friends or someone said something to someone else. Sometimes those alliances change. Sometimes friendships change. And maybe a year and a half ago, with someone not being comfortable to speak with police, maybe they're in a position where they may be now.
Is it too soon to say if there's at least a possible motive, or if Anthony might have known his killer?
Motive we can't speak to. There's no evidence suggesting this was a random attack. We do feel that this was an attack that wasn't random, where someone just came upon someone and decided to rob or to commit a violent act upon someone. But in relation to motive, again, to protect the investigation, we won't be releasing that.
Do we know if this was gun gang related or organized crime? Nothing along those means?
Yeah, the information we have that the investigation's garnered to date anyhow, again, does not suggest that it's gang related, organized crime related.